the question whether Tesla is coming to India, and the question has since moved to when is Tesla coming to India? As Tesla explores possibilities of having a manufacturing plant in India, the Indian government has suggested Tesla executives to find local partners to collaborate with Chinese suppliers. My colleague Amit has just walked into the studio here. Remember, the talks between Tesla and India executives is currently on. It's going on at full force. It's a matter of when Tesla comes in, not whether Tesla will come in.
Okay, now Tesla has a little problem, and that's a problem with the ecosystem that is coming up in India. If Tesla wants to keep its prices down, it needs certain components from Chinese suppliers. Things like battery cells, even Tatas for the electric vehicles import these battery cells from Chinese companies. What the government is telling Tesla is find local vendors. There are no local vendors for battery cells for electric vehicles. So to go around that process, because Indian authorities aren't really warm to Chinese companies coming to India.
They're cracking the whip on Chinese companies.
So they have advised Tesla to go the Apple way, that the Chinese companies form joint ventures with Indian vendors. And that is how they can still get those, especially battery cells, from these Chinese companies. Tesla wants to set up their manufacturing facilities of electric vehicles in India, not just for the Indian domestic markets, but for exports as well. And they're looking at their $24,000, which is close to 24 lakhs electric vehicle car, to be manufactured in India. So that is one. Now, the whole ecosystem of electric vehicles is slightly bigger than this. Foxconn, which is basically...
in fact, I was about to come to that. Tesla, if and when it enters India, and as I said, we began by saying it's not a question of whether, it's a question of when. They are in advanced talks. Tesla executives have been visiting government for over 6 months now.
Yes.
And the conversations have progressed now to finding local partners for EVs, for different parts and supplies. So those are the stages at which the conversations are happening at this moment. But also Foxconn and its plans for EV in India will prove to be a competitor for Tesla.
No, not at all. So it's a whole EV ecosystem that is happening in India. Tesla is one part of it. Foxconn is not looking at four-wheelers. They are looking at three-wheelers. And under their radar, they have convenience stores, car rental companies, courier companies, which will use these vehicles. And they are looking at the low-powered EV market. Okay. So that is what Foxconn is looking at. Foxconn, and all of this requires semiconductor chips. So it's a whole ecosystem. Foxconn is into that. They are investing another $600 million in Karnataka for chip manufacturing in collaboration with Applied Materials from the US. To cater to this market and more, there's another Japanese company, Disco, that is coming into India, which is setting up an outlet in India to supply chips for this whole industry.
Okay.
So electric vehicles,
so for EVs you need batteries, for batteries you need chips, and you need an entire ecosystem. And for chips you need lithium. So there is a whole ecosystem that the government at this point in time is trying to cater to, trying to bring in here and ensure that it's all made in India from beginning till the end.
All made in India, but a little bit of skin in the game will still be from China.
Okay, and a lot of skin in the game will be from the Indian government, which is what we were discussing. So there is a red carpet that is being rolled out, not just in terms of policy promises, but also actual monetary help.
Of course, India with the Foxconn and most of these semiconductor chips, 2/3 of the investments is coming from center and states. And just 1/3 is coming from these foreign partners. So a lot of skin in the game, but that's mostly in the chips thing. I do not think in Tesla it is 2/3 to 1/3.
Okay.
Tesla will still have a major stake, but yeah, so it's an entire ecosystem.
All right, it's an entire ecosystem, and government, of course, trying to build that ecosystem very, very fast.
And at high speed.
At a very high speed. Amit Ranjan, thanks very much for joining with your inputs on that very crucial story.